Today, I want to talk about something that often goes unappreciated and misunderstood in our collective culture: the tremendous power and beauty of living alone. In a world that constantly pushes us to seek relationships, companionship, and partnerships, we often forget the value of learning how to truly enjoy our own company. Not only is living alone a gift, but it is also an incredible opportunity to grow, to discover yourself, and to thrive beyond anything you could have imagined. You see, society teaches us from a young age that we need someone else to complete us. Find your other half, they say. But what if I told you that you are already whole? What if I told you that living alone isn't loneliness? When you live alone, you discover the unmatched beauty of freedom. No compromises, no emotional negotiations, no sacrificing parts of yourself to accommodate someone else's needs. Just pure, unfiltered freedom. Think about it. You get to decide how to spend your day. You get to choose what time to wake up, what music to play, what food to eat. Living alone allows you to reclaim control over your life. Every inch of your space belongs to you. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. You don't have to accommodate someone else's quirks or habits. This isn't selfishness. This is self-respect. You prioritize yourself because you deserve your own attention. And when you learn how to thrive while being free, you unleash creativity, authenticity, and peace that you didn't know you had. Freedom isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Living alone is your chance to embrace it. You cannot have a healthy relationship with anyone else until you've built a healthy relationship with yourself. Living alone forces you to have those important conversations with the person who matters most, you. Think about the moments of silence when no one is around. For some, this might feel uncomfortable at first, but here's the truth. That silence is where transformation begins. You come face to face with your fears, your doubts, your dreams, and your desires. You learn to listen to your own thoughts, the thoughts that are too often drowned out by the noise of others. Living alone allows you to uncover who you are without external influence. What are your values? What do you truly want from life? What makes you happy? What makes you thrive? When you live alone, you start peeling back the layers of other people's expectations, and you discover the person you were always meant to be. Let me address a common misconception. Loneliness and being alone are not the same thing. Society trains us to fear solitude. They paint a picture of a sad, isolated individual sitting in silence. But let me tell you, being alone can be one of the most fulfilling experiences of your life. When you live alone, you can take the time to nurture your passions, to cultivate your dreams, and to create a life that makes you proud. Living alone isn't about isolation. It's about independence. It's learning to stand tall on your own 2 feet. And when you master that, the relationships you do choose to have won't come from a place of need, but from a place of strength. Here's the truth. Loneliness doesn't come from the absence of people. Loneliness comes from being disconnected from yourself. When you live alone, you have the opportunity to nurture that connection. You become comfortable with yourself, and you embrace solitude as a gift rather than a burden. That's when loneliness disappears. Let's talk about focus and productivity. Living alone gives you the ideal environment to chase your goals without distractions. You are in charge of your time. There are no interruptions, no compromises, no drama to steer you off track. Living alone is fertile ground for growth. You want to write a book? Do it. You want to start a business? Go for it. You want to dedicate time to a fitness goal? The space is yours to create whatever you desire. This is your time to invest in yourself. Living alone gives you the ultimate permission to focus entirely on your own growth. You can take classes, read books, explore hobbies. Everything you do can serve the purpose of building the best version of yourself without worrying about whether someone else's journey aligns with yours. That is power. Here's a hard truth many people don't want to hear. Too often we enter relationships because we're afraid of being alone, afraid of not measuring up, afraid of doing life by ourselves. But that fear doesn't come from real lack. It comes from a lack of emotional independence. And guess what? Living alone forces you to develop that independence. You learn to handle your emotions on your own, to find peace in discomfort, and to find solutions without leaning too much on someone else. That kind of strength doesn't just help you while you're living alone. It becomes the foundation of every aspect of your life. When you are emotionally independent, you are no longer dependent on validation, approval, or support from others. You are your own foundation, and that makes you unstoppable. Living alone is your opportunity to design a life that feels like home, a home that reflects who you are. Your space becomes a physical manifestation of your personality, your tastes, and your dreams. You don't have to compromise on decor, routines, or the way you live. Want a minimalist home? Go for it. Want to cover the walls with art? Do it. Want to turn your living room into a workout space or a private library? No one's stopping you. When you live alone, your space becomes a reflection of your soul. It's not just a place you live, it's a sanctuary, a haven, a canvas for your individuality. Here's the most beautiful part of all. Living alone doesn't mean you reject relationships forever. It means you approach relationships from a place of abundance, not desperation. You don't need someone to complete you because you're already complete. When you're happy living alone, you choose relationships that add to your joy, not relationships that try to fill a void. You're no longer chasing love on someone else's terms. You're setting the standard for how you deserve to be treated. And that, my friends, is freedom. Living alone requires courage. In a world that constantly pushes the idea of relationships, marriage, and companionship, it takes bravery to chart your own path. But know this: the most extraordinary lives are never conventional. The people who create, who inspire, who thrive, they often live differently. They step outside the mold. They embrace solitude as a catalyst for greatness. You too have that opportunity. Living alone isn't settling, it is rising up to your full potential. So why does living alone beat any relationship? Because it gives you freedom, self-discovery, emotional independence, and space to grow. Living alone allows you to fall in love with the one person who matters most, yourself. And when you love yourself fully, the rest of the world opens up to you. Relationships become a choice, not a necessity. Life becomes an adventure, not a compromise. Living alone is not just a lifestyle, it's an art form. So today I challenge you to celebrate the gift of solitude, to embrace the beauty of living alone, because in the end, the greatest relationship you'll ever have is the one you build with yourself. And that relationship is worth everything.